Hello and welcome to Dad Got This, where we answer the difficult questions like, what's the best way to smoke a really thick pork chop on the Ninja Woodfire Grill? And what do you get when you cross a dinosaur and a pig? That I can answer right now. Jurassic Pork. Now I'm pretty sure I've done that Jurassic Pork joke before, but it just seemed so appropriate for today's video, which is brought to you by the good folks at RSVLTS. They are my clothing sponsor. I have been wearing their shirts for years, and they jumped on board and they wanted to do something with the channel. So this video is themed to a Roosevelt shirt. This Roosevelt shirt. This Jurassic Park Roosevelt shirt. So that's why we are making what I'm calling Jurassic Pork chops. These are gonna be some thick boy pork chops. We're gonna smoke them out on the wood fire grill, and then we're gonna pair them with a red wine gravy. And we might even make something really special with some mashed potatoes. Stay tuned to the end of the video if you wanna see what I'm talking about. Now I said I'm smoking these pork chops on the Ninja Woodfire Grill. Why am I inside? Because it's over 100 degrees outside here in Florida, and I don't want to be out there any longer than I have to. So we're going to do all our prep and everything here inside and then pop outside to the wood fire grill and smoke off some pork chops. Speaking of pork chops, let's see what we got. These are some about 1 inch thick bone-in pork chops. Pretty good. That's not what I want to do 100%. So I got 2 of these. Then I have a pork loin, not bone-in, but what if we did something really thick? I don't know, something like that. Like a big boy pork chop. So we'll do 2. I like my pork a little bit on the pinker side. My family does not like that. So they're gonna get these cooked a little bit more, and then I'm gonna cook this to my perfect pork temperature. Before we get to that, let's season these guys up. We're gonna keep it simple for seasoning because we're gonna get lots of smoke flavor. We're gonna have a pretty strongly flavored gravy to go with these. So a little bit of black pepper. Mine are gonna get a little bit of extra black pepper versus the family's. A little bit of a coarse sea salt. If you watch the channel, you might recognize this. This is what I call go. It is 50% granulated onion and 50% granulated garlic. Should have said that the other way around so the G and the O made sense, but I think you get what I mean. And last but certainly not least, a little bit of MSG. I just like the flavor it gives foods, especially pork. Now we're gonna do that with both sides. And these guys are so thick, they need their own seasoning done on the sides. That was too much. I like pepper, but I don't want that much pepper. Dab that off like that. I think we can do the rest with picking up seasoning off the board. Those look good. These could use a little more. We're gonna go stick these in the fridge because cold meat takes smoke better, and I wanna get as much smoke in these as I can. One quick thing, I get a bunch of comments in my videos about, you didn't wash your hands, you didn't do this, you used tongs that touched raw meat when you used the other thing. There's a lot of things that I do in the video, wash my hands. I have multiple versions of the same tong so that I don't have to continually wash things and I can swap them out without you guys noticing. I may not show it in every video, but I always make sure that I follow proper hygiene. Every board that had raw meat is then disinfected, cleaned before it is reused. Just know that you might not see it on film, but proper food handling is very important to me. I don't like getting people sick when I cook for them. Let's head outside because it's time to set up the wood fire. It's time to set up our grill, and I'm gonna use some hickory pellets for today's smoke because hickory has like a very strong, pungent, almost bacony flavor, they say. So I think it'll pair really well with our pork. Now, if you're interested in what woods to pair with what meats, I'm gonna do a video of that in the future because it was asked by a viewer. So get subscribed. But for now, let's go set up the grill. Grab your pellets. Do the dad shake. The dad shake either compacts the pellets, separates the pellets, and gives it lots of air, or does absolutely nothing. I do it every time. We're gonna cook these pork chops at 225 degrees until they reach our desired doneness. We'll talk about that inside. Now it's time for the fun part where we talk about what temperature to cook your pork to. That is all up to you. The USDA, where I live in America, says you gotta cook it to at least 145 before you take a pork chop, steak, roast off of the heat source and then let it rest for 3 minutes. Allows for carryover cooking, allows it to stay at that 145 for a long enough period of time to safely kill most pathogens in the meat. If you cook your pork to that 145, you might get a slight tinge of pink in your pork. I like that. I'm fine with that. My other family members aren't. You might want to cook that up to 165. That will be a little bit whiter, clearer, less juicy. However you want to cook your pork, you cook your pork. I'm going to cook my pork until it hits 145 and then take it off the heat and let it rest. To achieve that, I'm going to use the built-in thermometers that come with the Ninja Woodfire Pro XL in this thick boy. And we'll set one up in this little bit thinner guy who's going to probably cook quite a bit faster. We'll go in this way. There's no bones that way. Perfect. By this time, our smoker should be ready. Let's go stick these on. Normally, I would do this as a probe temperature cook, but since I have meats of 2 thicknesses, I don't want the grill to shut off early when the small one reaches its temp. So I'm just gonna watch it using my Ninja app. Right now, they are at 42 and 51 degrees each Fahrenheit. That is that Celsius. If I were to be giving Ninja any suggestions on their app and their product, here's something I would love to have. I would love to have an early warning or be able to set temperature warnings that even though I'm not cooking at a probe cook, that I still want the grill to alert me when certain temperatures are reached. That would be awesome. Ninja, you listened to me last time about making an XL version. Can we get a firmware update? At this point, I'm just gonna whip up some quick mashed potatoes. You can use any mashed potato recipe you want. You can use my garlic herb mashed potatoes if you want. I'll throw that link down in the description. For our red wine gravy, you're gonna wanna add 3 tablespoons of butter and 3 tablespoons of flour to a pan over medium heat. Just keep whisking this and cooking it for about 3 minutes until it starts to brown a little bit. Now we're gonna add in about half a cup of wine, any red wine you like, and whisk this vigorously. It is going to clump up quite a bit. Once you're done with whisking this and getting it nice and solidified, I guess would be a good word, we're gonna go ahead and add in 1 cup of chicken stock. More whisking, and now we're gonna add in about a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, and a teaspoon of MSG. Keep whisking until it's nice and combined, and then we're gonna hit it up with about a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. And because I wanted a little bit darker color, I went in with another half a cup of red wine. Keep mixing this well, add in about a tablespoon of minced garlic, and stir it well. Time to give it a taste and see how it is. For me, it's perfect. The only thing left to do is put it onto a low simmer and let it sit there for at least 20 to 30 minutes. You can cook it as long as you want to cook out as much alcohol as you want. The longer you cook it, the more alcohol you're gonna cook out. The thin chops are ready. They're at about 147, cause filming. Let's pull them off. A few minutes later, the thick boys were done. Pork's done. I missed it a little bit on timing wise, so I think these might be a little bit over. This one's at like 151 right now, 153. Not bad, they should be fine. Now, as you can see, I've got a little bit of color on both sides of these because I actually flipped them. On these, I didn't flip them. As you can see, got color there, but really nothing on that side. Those we're not worried about. Those are dinner for the family later. These are the bad boys I'm worried about. So we'll just cut into one of these, see what it looks like. I mean, it's a little pink, but it's beautifully tender. That's gonna be a nice pork chop. Let's go into this big boy. Moment of truth, how's it look? I think that's perfect. Now it's pretty thick, so most of that flavor is only on the outside of this pork. So I'll lap up some juices from the board, maybe some juices from here. There we go. That's a good pork chop. Man, that's smoky. Very smoky. Still no smoke ring. The Ninja does not do smoke rings that well. I don't know if it's the time pellets I'm using or what, but if you're looking for a really pronounced smoke ring on your food, you gotta do some super tricks to get it on the Ninja. Maybe I'll do a video about that, but does not affect the flavor. Smoke ring has no effect on whether your barbecue is good or not. It is just a production of nitrates, and the way it reacts with the meat and the smoke, that's it. No way, shape, or form does it mean that smoke didn't penetrate or you didn't get smoke into your food. Just know that. It happens to be summer break from school, so I do happen to have my official food critic here. Let's see if they're available. This is the official taste tester.
Hi.
Let me cut you off a piece of pork. Go ahead and give it a try. Let me know what you taste. What do you taste in there?
Garlic?
Yeah, there's a little bit of garlic in there. Do you taste any smokiness?
Yeah.
Now,
Very tender.
what do you think? What would you rate the pork? How do you rate the pork?
Pork? 9.
Thank you for your assistance.
Bye.
Bye. A little bit of the gravy and the mashed potatoes. I like that red wine flavor in the gravy. It's quite nice. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you give it a like, leave a comment. If you'd like to pick up one of these Jurassic Park Roosevelt shirts, links are in the description. Links are in the description for everything you might want to know how to make this, how to buy this. I want to thank Roosevelt's for their continued support on this channel. It means a big deal to me, and it really helps me be able to bring you guys lots and lots of fun videos. I love the shirts. They literally are my favorite shirt. Now, that leaves me to answer one question and to do one thing. The question is, how do you know you got a dinosaur in your refrigerator? You can't close the door. And the thing we need to do before we go is, I promised you something special. I give you Jurassic Pork. Well, with that ridiculousness, can't even say that word, ridiculousness, with those shenanigans out of the way, there's nothing left to do except say, do the likey subscribe stuff. What else do they need to do?
What are we talking about?
What are they supposed to do?
Like and subscribe.
What don't I do?
That is outro, so that's it. Bye!
Bye.
This episode of Dad Got This was brought to you by our producers. Thank you very much.